the greatest rainmaker of modern times. For more than 30 years, he practiced his art and won a name for himself by filling lakes, saving crops, and breaking droughts from the Yukon to Guatemala. Hatfield the Rainmaker, the man who courted nature. They called Charles Hatfield a commander of nature, the greatest rainmaker of modern times. For more than 30 years, he practiced his art and won a name for himself by filling lakes, saving crops, and breaking droughts from the Yukon to Guatemala. He offered to clear London of its fog and to water the Sahara, but the scene of his most spectacular achievement was San Diego, California. Hatfield approached the city council in December 1915 with a simple offer. For a fee of $10,000, he would fill the vast city reservoir at Marina Dam. If no rain fell, he would expect no pay. The council's amused reaction? If he did fill the reservoir, they would pay him with pleasure. It seemed a safe bet. The reservoir could hold a staggering 15 billion gallons and had never been more than one-third full since it was built. Besides, as one member of the council pointed out, if Hatfield did succeed, he would supply them with 10 billion gallons of water at a cost of 1/10 of a cent per 1,000 gallons. If he failed, the attempt would have cost them nothing. On January 1st, 1916, Hatfield arrived at Marina Dam some 60 miles east of San Diego and set to work. First, he erected a wooden tower about 20 feet high. On top of it, he placed large galvanizing trays containing his special moisture-attracting mixture. Then, through a process of chemical evaporation, the details of which he kept a closely guarded secret, he began coaxing, wheedling, and courting nature. By January 5th, there was already rain at the reservoir. By January 10th, heavy, almost continuous rain fell throughout the county. Then the downpour began in earnest and continued for 10 days. To the inhabitants of San Diego, it seemed the rain would never end. As torrents of water rushed through the streets, business stopped and all normal life was suspended. Highways were closed and rail connections flooded. The telephone and telegraph were cut off. Rivers overflowed their banks, washing away houses and barns. There was a brief respite. For a few days, the sun shone weakly through the clouds and repair work began. But on January 26th, the storms returned. At Marina Dam, rain fell heavily and steadily all day. By midnight, the level of the lake was rising at the rate of 2 feet per hour. It finally stopped, though just 5 inches from the top of the dam, and disaster on a massive scale was averted. Other districts were less fortunate. The nearby Lower Otay Dam disintegrated, releasing a wall of water 40 feet high. The water plowed 12 miles to the sea, demolishing everything before it. Altogether, an estimated 50 lives were lost, more than 200 bridges were washed away, and miles of track were destroyed. Trains were halted for 32 days. The flood left scars on the mountains and hills for years, and in some places the landscape was changed permanently. There was no doubt in Hatfield's mind that he'd lived up to his promise to fill the Marina Reservoir. But when he went to claim his money, the city council refused to pay. Hatfield had proceeded on the basis of an oral agreement without a signed legal contract. Now the council was maintaining that the deluge was an act of God, unless Hatfield could provide evidence that he was responsible. And of course Hatfield could never prove that it was he who had brought forth the rain. Many people thought that Hatfield had been treated unfairly. Although the episode did much to enhance his reputation as king of the cloud compellers, he filed a suit against the city but did little to pursue it. It was finally dismissed in 1938 for the lack of prosecution. But the city of San Diego remembered Hatfield for years to come. In 1948, when they hired a cloud seeder to make it rain, they took out substantial damage insurance.